Welcome to the Doctor and the Dork podcast, everybody. This is Frank here with my co-star Olivia.
Hi, everyone.
How's it going, guys? We're checking in with you after the July 4th weekend. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Let's hop right into this, right? So I think we were going to start off with our camping trip. Last time we were just talking about how we were all going to go camping on July 4th with a bunch of our friends. And unfortunately, it never really came up for us to be able to record out in the woods like we would have liked. But overall, we had a great time, I have to say. What do you think, Olivia? What do you think of the whole camping trip?
I ranked the camping trip a 9 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, I had a really good time. What was your favorite part of the camping trip?
I have to say my favorite part was setting up a tent with Olivia. Now, I'm not going to go into any details here, but for those of us that were there, if you're our friends and you're listening, you all know what happened, and that was hilarious, all right? And this isn't to try and keep a secret from any of our listeners. We were intoxicated, all right? So it was quite funny, though. And Olivia started setting up a tent and quickly informed me that she didn't need no man to set up a tent, all right? That she was a doctor. And I was like, well, all right, I'll take my ass elsewhere. No, ain't gonna tell me twice. I have a girlfriend that'll set up a tent. Fantastic. I turn around, right? I literally put the tent part down, walked away, and got about 3 feet before I heard Olivia go, are you just gonna stand there, or are you actually gonna give me a hand? Keep in mind, folks, this was all within 20 seconds. Like, this happened
I'd say it was a good 2 minutes. I got that pole almost all the way through the little holes.
It was really just... And so this tent was real basic, but Olivia had never used this tent and being totally fair, and it was a much older model that doesn't snap itself up.
I've never heard of these snapping tents before this weekend.
Oh my god. So our friend Matt and Dee Dee have and Deirdre, Dee Dee for short, they have a pop-up tent for 6 people, and literally it's one of those you throw it on the ground and the thing just blows itself up. Yeah, they're super nice. I mean,
you know what else was nice about their tent?
What?
Front door zippered.
Oh my god. So my tent is very old. I haven't used it in years. And truth be told, the door did not work. So that was a bit of a problem. But it also rained, so we threw a giant tarp over everything. So that was okay.
That made it better.
I'm still never going to live this down. So
because he's acting like it's not an issue. He even said today, well, the tent's mostly in good shape. If the tent door doesn't zipper, it ain't in good shape.
That's fine. That'd be like getting a Jeep while missing a door. You'd be like, oh, well, I can ride it around like that.
Yeah, but no, you can't. Legally, you literally cannot.
Yeah, you can. You can ride it. That's why Jeeps have the doors off. You can ride a Jeep with no doors.
Well, do you think I could ride my Honda Civic without a door on? Probably not. I don't think. You can't ride without a windshield, so I'm going to presume you probably can't ride without a door.
You need a windshield on a car.
We
got to look into this. We got to look if we can take the doors off the Honda Civic.
Anyways.
But anyway. So all in all, we had a great time.
Are you going to ask me what my favorite part of the weekend was?
Oh, how rude of me. My bad. Yes, what was your favorite part, Olivia?
My favorite part was going to the little river to go swimming.
That's true. That was a new feature to our camping trip. We've never done that down there. So that was actually very cool.
I'm usually nervous to swim in water when I don't know what creatures are in there. But once enough people got in there, I presumed all the little creatures were gone, so it was going to be safe.
That they buzzed off in the meantime? Yeah, or swam off.
Yeah,
no repeat lake monsters. Yeah. Nothing trying to eat Olivia
No beavers. So we did walk across the beaver dam, and I was a little worried. Yeah,
we all had to pick up some big rocks because we were afraid he was going to lunge out and just gnaw through somebody's ankle like a tree stump. It was something out of a horror film. But all in all, it was a fantastic weekend. We got to sit around a campfire with all of our friends. I'll just give a shout out to everyone. We had AJ, we had Sean, we had Matt, we had Brian. Then we had the ladies. We had Erin, our buddy Brian's wife. We had Deirdre, our buddy Matt's girlfriend. We had Jotty there, our buddy Sean's girlfriend. And we did not have Emily, which was a bit of a downturn. She didn't show up for the weekend. She had to work and study for stuff for school. So hopefully that all turned out okay. But we had a great cast here. And we had Gabby.
Shout out Gabby.
Yes, we had Gabby. She was our, what would I call that, a 9th wheel, a 10th wheel, 11th wheel, something like that?
Yeah.
She's up there. So Anyway, it was a fantastic time with all of our friends. It was a great July 4th. We made it home in time to see some fireworks. We got to camp out. It didn't rain like it was supposed to.
It did rain. That's a lie.
Well, it did.
It rained for
like
12 hours of Saturday.
12 hours. It rained for like 2 minutes, and that was Friday.
Not. Okay, Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
You don't even know what day it was, all right? You were in La La Land.
Whatever.
All right, guys. So I'm going to roll this right into our string of odd weather. All right? I'm real curious about what has been going on with the weather and if the weatherman has actually lost his mind.
Yeah.
Or if...
Well, maybe it's just a Connecticut thing. Our listeners across the U.S. and internationally, write into drandtork@gmail.com and let us know, is your weatherman bad? Or maybe you have a really great weatherman and he's like, the town is like, loves him because he's 100% right all the time. And
he cares about his job.
Yeah.
I have such a hard time imagining that for a weatherman that they just can't get it right. I mean, I don't know. I understand it's a hard job.
Talking an awful lot of shit for someone who knows nothing about
being
a meteorologist.
Let me preface this with, I am not a weatherman, and I know nothing of weatherman stuff, all right? I know none of meteorology. So, what I do know is that I had a high school teacher that was also our cross-country coach.
Oh, boy.
Coach.
Here it goes.
And his name is Mr. Janiga. Now,
shout out.
Mr. Janiga, as our cross-country coach, was quite the guy. He's like well into retirement. I mean, he must have been in his late 50s, early 60s at the time. And this man could outrun high school boys. And that in and of itself, kudos to him. That dude went out there and kicked our asses every single day. But what coupled it, that really was the double punch, that 1-2, was the fact that not only could he outrun us, but he knew the weather. Because I guess he used to be a meteorologist before he became a high school science teacher. That, or maybe it was his science. This was so long ago. But anyway, this man used to tell us, he'd be like, he'd walk outside with some of his instruments, like while we're all warming up for practice. And he'd come back in and he'd be like, all right, guys, well, we have about 20 minutes until it rains. So we're going to go on, let's say, a 4-mile run. And he'd be like, at your times, he's like, you guys should all be in right around 25 minutes, ballpark, to 28 minutes, somewhere in there. And he sent us on our merry way. And I shit you not, 20 minutes into this run, like I'm on my last mile, like I just got to my last mile, and it starts torrential downpouring. And if this was the only instance of it, I'd be like, oh, big whoop to do, we got lucky. No, this man used to call the lightning storms before races. So, like, on race day, they'll run rain or shine, but thunderstorms, they'll delay these. In case you didn't know that, Olivia.
No, none of our listeners care about
no,
what they
none
do
of
in
them
high
care.
school.
But what I'm getting at is, how did my high school science teacher...
You brought us down from 22 minutes attentiveness to 6 minutes.
Just lost everybody. But what I'm getting at is it really that hard? Like, was my high school teacher just a wizard? Or are meteorologists like every other trade where 90% of them are terrible and then 10% of them are fantastic and do most of the work? I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. I think when they tell you there's a chance of rain, you presume that means there's a 100% likelihood that it's going to rain, and that's not what they're saying. They're saying there's a chance,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that they got me mixed up on is Google weather. Or I think I have the weather app.
Yeah, you have the weather. I have AccuWeather.
If it's like 10% chance of rain, they
just
put a symbol of rainstorms the whole day.
Yeah,
and
I think that is the issue.
That throws me off.
Yeah, I recommend to get AccuWeather instead. They don't do that. Frankie's weather's always wrong.
My weather's always wrong. It's literally like, I remember one time it said it was raining outside and we were actually outside in the sun. And it was like...
Is that the one you had the location set to somewhere that you weren't actually...
No, this was like in the past, I think it was like actually last week sometime. We were together doing something, and my phone said it was raining, and I was like,
Indeed, it's not raining.
It's like, can confirm, the weatherman's wrong again. But all right, guys, we won't bore you with my weather ideas. I was just curious if I'm the only one picking up on this.
Yeah, I think you are.
So, Olivia, do you want to take us off onto my next quandary here?
Your next
our next quandary.
What are we doing next? The Doctor and the Dork segment?
It's that, or we could talk on our thoughts on relationships.
Oh, yeah, let's do relationships.
Yeah, we want to do relationships?
That seems more fun.
All right, you take the lead. I've led this whole way, so the folks want to hear you.
So Frankie and I have been dating now for about 7 months. So for all of you who have been looking at our Instagrams and been like, wow, he looks so good or she's so beautiful and wanting to reach out, unfortunately, we're both taken. Anyways.
Just kidding. We're ugly as shit.
So we're 7 months in. Frankie's had some roommates for a little bit, and they're moving out of his house in the next few months. So he has invited me to move in with him. And that seems like a very big step to me. It makes me a little bit nervous, but I think we're going to go for it.
Now, keep in mind, when the move-in occurs, we won't be at 7 months. It'll be closer to 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah.
But that's one of those, you plan it in advance. But we're wondering, for our listeners out there, so our friends.
The three of you that tune in.
Yeah, the three of you that have been listening. Thank you, guys. No, we're curious. At what point do you guys think it's okay to move in a relationship? Because I'm real curious about this, and I feel like nobody talks about this. There's no, set time. And the answer I usually get is people are like, you know when you know.
Yeah, I think it's like asking when is it too soon to drop the L-bomb, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, to me, though, because I put everything into such an even playing field, my scaling's jacked up. For me, that's the equivalent of, your pilot on a plane just being like, when do I put the landing legs down? Yeah, whenever, you'll know. When you hit the ground. No, there's got to be some sort of there's got to be some sort of checkbox. Hey, can you guys stand a weekend together? Can you stay in a house for a week together?
Well, I have one good friend, Rachel. Shout out. She moved in with her boyfriend after 2 months of dating. When I say she moved in, he moved in with her. And I thought she was off the wall crazy. And they're still together almost 2 years strong now. So I think it's just kind of every relationship is different. Because I'm sure there's people who have been dating for 2 years and then they moved in with each other and they're like, no. My friend Danielle, though, her boyfriend just moved in with her and they're going to go find someplace new, but his lease was up. And they've been dating for about a year. So I think a year is probably the best.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, I was thinking right around you. I tried Googling it, and there's so many random sources out there.
What was the range?
The range was, honestly, some people were saying 6 months is okay, and other people were saying, upwards of 2 years.
Damn.
And I was like, I just can't imagine having to traverse to go see someone for 2 years.
I just can't imagine dating for 2 years, and then you move in with each other and you find out that you cannot stand
that they're a slob.
Yeah, that their relationship's never going to be able to move forward because you can't handle living with them.
So those of you that have moved in together or you have someone living with you, let us know at doctorandandork at gmail.com. I can't even get our email right. Let us know what you guys, what your move-in was. Or I guess on Podbean, you can leave us messages on there.
Yeah, you can write a comment on Podbean.
Or on YouTube.
Dr. and Dork. Check
But we're
out.
interested in hearing on this. All right. So I guess I'm going to move into my segment, my nerd segment. It's not going to last terribly long. I think we're going to end up having a shorter podcast today, though. So that's fine.
You say that every time, and then we always end right about 30 minutes.
So before I move on, though, I have to say we are munching on some apple pie that Olivia whipped up for us, an hour and a half ago?
Like the domesticated woman I am.
So domesticated she is. But I'm only saying this for those of you that are listening.
Aren't you going to tell them how good my pie is?
Oh, it's a fantastic apple pie. So I just want to make everyone jealous because now they're all going to want apple pie. So, all right. So moving on, I'm going into my nerd segment here.
All right, let's hear it.
My nerd segment's short, sweet, to the point. Olivia, what's your favorite childhood games? I want 3 out of you that you played.
I think I'm going to answer this question wrong, but I'll start with my first one and then I'll know if it's wrong or not. Spyro.
Okay.
Does it have to be an arcade game or can it be a regular game? Okay.
What games were the staple of your childhood?
Spyro, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and the Rugrats.
All right. Is that in order how you liked them?
Probably. Yeah, though I've been really having an itching to play one of the Rugrats ones. So I want to move that up, but no, I think that is the order. What's Spyro?
No, all right, we'll start with Spyro here. So Spyro's a classic that everybody loves.
Yeah.
All right, got our purple dragon rampaging around. Truthfully, I haven't replayed them in years, and I know they just redid them all.
Did they?
My roommates got it.
Oh, damn!
Yeah, and it's the 1, 2, and 3.
Wow!
But they redid the graphics and everything.
Must look crisp.
Oh my god!
Because when you play it now with the PS1, you're like, "LOL, we thought this was technology."
And you're like, it actually hurts your eyes to look at it.
You're like, wait, which direction am I going?
So, I guess what I was looking for. All right, so Spyro, which one? Because you had a bunch.
Yeah. So the one, me and my friend Caitlin, who you met last time we were home, we would usually play Riptar's Rage. I forget. It was something. It was a red disc.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Riptar.
Yeah, I think that was his name.
I'm pretty sure that's his name. All right, so I think that was the second one.
Yeah, definitely wasn't the first one. It was either the second or the third.
I think it was number 2. So follow that up with Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That is a game I'm pretty sure anyone who lived in the 90s can just agree was one of the best games ever.
That one I played the first disc and the second disc. I don't know which one I liked better.
I think they were all pretty good. At what point did that game fall off for you? Because Spyro is something you can pick up at any point.
Sure.
But I feel like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I'm not going to be nearly as interested in it as I was when I was a kid.
What made me pick? Well, I tried to pick Spyro back up again. The thing that's good about Tony Hawk Pro Skater is that you can finish that quicker. Like, you can go through it and accomplish all the levels. Where, like, Spyro, there's a lot of levels, and then you finish one level, and then you go to another world, and then you got to finish all the levels inside that world. So I think Spyro's just more of a time dedication.
Oh, okay.
Than Tony Hawk Pro Skater is.
All right. So, and I don't really have too much to say on Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
You have anything to say on the Rugrats?
Honestly, no. I never played the Rugrats.
The Rugrats had a lot of mini golf games.
Okay.
They had one, too, where the house was upside down and you had to go around and poke all the balloons. And
like,
there was an egg hunt one. Those are the 3
you're going to laugh at me. This all sounds very, familiar to me.
Yeah.
And all I can imagine is, as a kid, I must have watched someone else play it. Or I must have... I used to be so into video games that... But I don't know. I was never big into Rugrats either.
What were your favorite childhood games?
All right. So my 3, I'm going to have to go with... back in the day, it was... Star Fox for Nintendo 64. I had Resistance for PS3. Which that came out. So
it wasn't really your childhood.
No, that was, early teenage years for me. So, but that was... and then I'm going to go with a classic, and that's Pokemon. So, and I'm going to say in that order. Because Resistance died out. God, that was middle school for me, so I was 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So, that was really my game, though. So, let me start with Star Fox. If nobody here knows what Star Fox is, that's the dual barrel roll. That's where that comes from.
Nobody's ever heard that before.
Everyone has heard that, all right?
Write into drandork@gmail.com if you've never heard of that before.
All right. Followed up by Resistance, which was basically an alien virus plague thing. Took over Russia, and then it took over Europe, and then it takes over America. And basically, it mutates you into this freaky alien monster, and then you join a hive mind like a bunch of ants, and then they took over the world. So, but what it was Call of Duty before Call of Duty. So, Resistance 2, which was my favorite of the games, had a 60-on-60 player online map. It was the first giant map that they actually had. What happens if
there weren't 120 players? Actually?
There was always 120 players. I never ran into the scenario where there wasn't. Okay. But needless to say, it was a huge game because that was the biggest online multiplayer event that had ever happened. Nice. At the time, Call of Duty was still doing 5v5. So you had 10 players.
Yeah.
It was very boring. Now, was it a good 120 player online? That's debatable, honestly. It was kind of shoddy at best. But it happened.
Yeah. And
no one had ever done it before. So that's what was cool about it. And then finally, Pokemon. If you can't get behind Pokemon Red, guys, well, I can't even talk to you, honestly. I've got nothing. I mean, Pokemon Red hit at everybody's heartstrings. Come on. Everyone had a Game Boy growing up. That game was awesome. Everyone's got Pokemon Go now.
The only thing I played on my Game Boy was the Mary Kate and Ashley game.
No, I was very much into my Pokemon. But moving on, guys. I just wanted to bring all this up. The reason we were talking about childhood games, because for any of you Sega fans out there, they are rolling out an arcade version that can load all of their games. It is called the Sega Astro City Mini. Apparently they made a Sega Astro City, which was a tall arcade-style game console that would go in an arcade. But you could load any of their Sega games into it. Well, now they're rolling out a Mini for any of you Sega fans, and you can put it on your counter, like a half-sized laptop, and play Sega games on it. And apparently it's supposed to be coming out later this year. That's all I know about it.
I don't know even what a Sega game is. Is that like
really?
Pac-Man?
Sega was like, it used to strike across, like, the stars across a screen.
No, what games could you play on it?
You could play Sonic. Sonic was a Sega game. You had, was it Golden Blade?
What about Crash?
Nope, that was a
PlayStation.
Pretty sure PlayStation game. So, but all right, guys, I won't keep boring you with that stuff. The last thing I have is the PS4 is giving away NBA 2K20 and Tomb Raider: Rise of the Tomb Raider Deluxe Edition for free this month. Also, I have one last topic for Olivia. So I guess I keep dragging on. Now, this will be a real short one.
Okay,
Adobe Flash, guys, is ending at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Did anybody know this was a thing?
It doesn't matter, though. If Adobe Reader is still going to be there, it's all I just need to read my PDFs.
Well, Adobe is apparently shutting down.
I don't think so, because that news article just said Adobe Flash.
No, if you read into it, it's the whole
read
company.
More than the headline?
Yeah, if you read more than the headline, Olivia. So it says Adobe is going to be done December 2020.
Well, you want to know why I think that is? I listened to something on another podcast called The Reply All, which is actually an upstanding production unlike this podcast. And they were talking about, at least I think it was there, how, you know how there used to be a bunch of PC games you could play and they all required you to have some sort of Flash downloader?
Yeah.
Well, then when the iPhone came out and all the Apple things came out, they created their own software that didn't use that Flash technology.
Oh.
So everybody changed all of their gaming software over to this new one, up to whatever iPhones were using, because they knew that that's what they were going to need in order to keep up. So I think Adobe Flash is finally they don't have enough need for their product to keep upgrading it.
And I know a lot of their stuff was used in game development, but now, and I mean, that was back in the 90s, late 80s. Well, no, because it wasn't commissioned until 95, actually. So it had to be late 90s. But now there's all kinds of other, systems they can use. But that is the last of my nerd topic. Olivia, take it away. Drop some knowledge bombs on us.
I don't know how many knowledge bombs I'm going to drop, but I figured today we could talk about dietary supplements and vitamins. I think this is always a hot topic because,
all the vitamins.
I can play both sides here. A lot of them don't have a lot of efficacy, and it's ridiculous that anybody's even going to the store and buying them. It's ridiculous they're even able to go to the store and buy them. But at the same time, I think there are some products that do actually have a lot of efficacy that are relatively safe, that studies have shown are kind of all right. So I wanted to ask you, what vitamins or supplements have you ever taken, or do you kind of believe in?
Nah, I'm more of a day-to-day, like, I take my daily, I occasionally take a B12, and that was usually the extent of my vitamins.
What would you take your B12 for?
The B12, while I was in the Army, I had found out that niacin, B6, and B12 were all the core vitamins inside of pre-workout. And as I found out, if you were to have a large breakfast, because all B vitamins, you can stop me at any point.
Yeah.
Because this is your segment. But my brief understanding is that B vitamins help your digestive process and help break down food and turn it into energy.
Yeah, so B vitamins are supposed to help your energy
levels. So my idea was if you ate a gigantic meal and then downed a B6, a B12, and a niacin pill, or one of the complete ones, you just have all this energy. And, when I was in the Army, it sucks the life out of you.
I think we've talked about this before, because the evidence I've read for vitamin B actually shows that you're supposed to take it on an empty stomach. Now,
really?
Is that the best research ever? I don't know, probably not, but yeah, allegedly that's what they say. So that's vitamin B. So I know you're a big proponent of your vitamin C.
Yes, I am a crackhead for vitamin C, but I don't take that in a tablet. I take a lemon. Now, I got this from my father, who will definitely never hear this. So, he's insane. All right, this man, I swear, I don't know what he does these days since he's on his Mediterranean diet, but he does a lemon a day, or he was for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't do it quite to that extent. If I start to feel down, I'll start eating lemons. But I don't actually eat them. I squeeze them into my water. I have a fruit press, people. I'm not a savage.
What a wacko.
All right. But, yeah, I think other than that, the only other thing I tried was a pill pack. You ever tried anything like that?
No, you told me, though, they make you feel like you're on the top of the world.
Yeah. So, again, this is me doing a shout out for another company. So, On It, out in Texas, you guys are doing fantastic. They have it's called Total Primate Care, or they might have changed it. They've changed the name like 3-4 times, but it's a pill pack, one for the morning, one for the night. Now you are taking some serious horse pills in this thing.
Do they tell you what's in it or no?
Oh yeah, they got everything that's on them.
Okay.
So, a bunch of it's like the spirella and chlorella. It's like, if you look it up, it's like pond scum, but apparently it's the most pond scum or whatever is like the most nutrient dense plant on the planet. I was unaware of it. I wish I would. You know,
ladies and gentlemen, I want to take the star.
Hey, look, you can come back with the info on this. I'm just telling you what I've Googled.
I'm gonna look it up. You know what I bet I'm gonna find? I bet I'm gonna find that they had crushed Adderall in all of their pills, and that's why they need to keep changing their name because the FDA keeps shutting them down, and they're like, all right, well, we'll just pop up under it.
I wouldn't even be surprised. So they actually do put a nootropic in there, and that's a topic you should go over.
Oh yeah, I don't know much about nootropics.
So the nootropic they add in there is called Alpha Brain, and I can say that it does work. But there are certainly other ones out there that I think are better, and cheaper than Alpha Brain because that shit is expensive. Oh my god!
All right, so you're endorsing that. Yeah, so my feelings are, I think vitamin B's got potential. I don't know, I had an oncology, a hemonc professor that said, unless you have hemonc, hematology, and oncology.
Oh.
So he does like everything blood
Who
related.
knows what a hemonc is?
Any doctors will say. But we were talking about anemia one day, and specifically vitamin B related anemias, and he said unless you have a vitamin B deficiency, there's no reason for you to be taking vitamin B.
But how do you know if you have a deficiency?
You'd have to go to the doctor. And I feel like it's a water-soluble vitamin, so anything besides A, D, E, and K, you're just going to pee out anyways. So it doesn't really matter as long as you're... As long as your renal function's in good shape, you're going to pee it out. But yes, I'm a proponent for vitamin B. Vitamin C, I don't know, it's got mixed reviews. A big one, I'd say my favorite one I'd endorse is vitamin D. You know, a lot of people have low vitamin D levels and don't know. So just
that sunlight?
Yeah, just take it. All you need is 15 minutes of sunlight a day. But if you can't do that because it's wintertime and you live in the Northeast, just pop a vitamin D tab.
Speaking of vitamin D.
Yeah.
For all you perverts out there, it's not where I was going. Whatever happened to that drink, Sunny D? Whatever, is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing. But you know what the annoying thing about that is?
What?
Is why didn't they call it Sunny C? Because it's high in vitamin C. I think it hardly has any vitamin D.
Wow, that's okay.
They call it Sunny D. I get it because you get your vitamin D from sun, but there's not very much vitamin D in
I
there.
don't think so. I actually remember trying one of these when I was younger, and I remembered hating the taste of it. I thought it tasted like off-brand orange juice.
Yeah, it's probably because it's got a bunch of fortified yucky vitamins.
Yeah, I did not love the taste of Sunny D, but that just so they really didn't have a lot of vitamin D in that thing?
No, I think no more than like a glass of milk would.
Wow. Okay, that's some odd advertising.
The last supplement I think I'll endorse, and you guys can write in if you have any supplements you really use that you think work, is melatonin. And I've never used it personally, but there's been actually a ton of research on it that shows it's actually better, especially if you're elderly, to take that rather than a Benadryl to help you fall asleep at night because there's less risk associated with it.
You know what I hear helps with that?
It's something ridiculous.
Fifth of scotch.
Okay.
Just chug a bottle of scotch, folks.
That's the end of that.
We endorse that. No, I'm just
endorsed.
kidding. Don't die. But all right. So your vitamins would be melatonin, vitamin D, vitamin B, and vitamin C.
Yeah,
Well,
not
vitamin
even
D-
the vitamin C. I don't really believe in vitamin C.
No?
No.
Well, which vitamin Bs are you talking about, though? Because there's like...
I just get the vitamin
Isn't
C
there like
complex.
vitamins B1 through 12?
B6 and B12, I'd say those are the ones that cause the anemia, so I'd be mostly worried about them.
Because
but
isn't niacin like B9 or something?
there was a day in which I knew that, but I've
Okay.
taken my boards and I've passed, and I no longer know that information.
All right, folks. Well, I think, Olivia, do you have anything else for your doctor segment here? You
No,
got
I think that's honestly about it for today.
no updates on the Rona. Not that we really have any insight
No,
into that.
I was going to
but-
bring up the whole, like, airborne thing, and should we really be wearing masks? How much are they really helping? But I didn't need anybody to be saying, you know, we're too far left or too far right on this podcast, so I figured I'd let the research
speak for
tell.
itself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. I guess the underlying would be just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. We will catch up with you later. Thanks for tuning in. And
Hold
what's
on.
the next holiday?
Don't hang up.
What?
Send us an email at drandork@gmail.com. Remember, you're spelling out that A&D. Visit us on Instagram at Dr. and Dork. Visit us on YouTube at Dr. and Dork. Visit us on Podbean at Dr. and Dork. Oh, and we have a conspiracy. We were up on Spotify.
Oh.
And suddenly, Spotify has removed our account. So we're going to work on getting that up. And I think we're going to try to get it up onto Apple iTunes podcast. But I'm not sure how long that's going to take. So.
No, but now that we have enough episodes, we'll be able to do it. But all right, guys. Is that it? Did I forget
Yeah,
anything
no,
else,
that's
Olivia?
it for real.
All right. Well, talk to you guys next time. See you in a week.
See ya.